We nailed our bottom side targets yet again today, and the asset completely recovered some of those losses as the broader markets ripped to new highs. Price action today may just have uncovered a very bullish formation in the 3-day time frame with a confirmation currently in play. Welcome back to the channel on this happy Friday. This is ARCa, and let's dive into ticker symbol ASRE. Let's kill 'em. What is up, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. Let's go ahead and dive into ticker symbol ASRE, and what we're observing here is, in fact, that 3-day time frame. But actually, you know what? Before we get there, let's go ahead and just start off right over here and point out that the targets that we were looking for absolutely met, right? This was our support range located between 2403 and let's see, 2697 with a focus at about 2506, right? So please notice here that price action came right back down to our support line at the bottom, and that candle came down to a low of 2402, right? So very, very impressive support bounce that we ended up getting from that, okay, team? So let's go ahead and now move on to the next chart and see what could be at play here. Okay, so this was, actually, you know what, the 3-day time frame volatility bands, aka your Bollinger Bands, were able to give us a bottom side target as well, right? So of course these kind of shifted because price action ended up coming down to a lower level, and we opened up a new 3-day candle iteration, right? So yes, naturally the Bollinger Bands are starting to expand, seeing that the volatility actually increased towards the downside today. More shares traded. Okay, so I guess we should. It is important to take to note here that the bottom side of this is 2297. It goes without mentioning, but we just have to point it out that it is there in case price action tends to reverse. But remember, we've been looking at, or we've been observing ASRE compared to the or with the SPY, and it has been moving pretty nicely with the broader markets. Right, so now next chart here is that formation that we may have uncovered today with today's price action, right? So yes, today's price action, we opened up a new 3-day candle here. We got the top side of about 3094, which, by the way, also was our resistance zone. We spoke about a 3034 resistance before coming back down and validating our supports right down here. So as you can see here, yeah, this candle here reached high of about 3090, and that is right over here, right when the resistance we were talking about was 3034. So there was high accuracy here in the targets that we chose. So if it wasn't for this drop here, I would have not noticed this regression, right? So, and naturally, when this regression was made based on this bottom side of the wick, I immediately saw the regression on the other side. So this is a falling wedge, and it is a continuation formation, and it is bullish. That doesn't mean it can't be played to the downside. It just means that it is a continuation formation towards the bulls, right? So of course we have an upside pivot here. We start converging this price, and then we break out. The validation of resistance into support is currently underway, because now we have, of course, this 3-day and 18 hours to close this candle here. Right, so yeah, this would be the candle here to kind of validate that we are ready to move onwards and upwards. An important fact here is that the time frame, the 3-day time frame candle presently here, is still in essence upside of the mean band from the Gaussian channel, right, or the Gaussian bands. So I do find that to be highly credible. That doesn't mean that we can't fail it. I'm just saying that it would be best for us to maintain price action above the 2650 zone in order for us to maintain this green band here. Okay, as just like we spoke of yesterday, this green is starting to print for the first time since December 15th, 2022. So quite impressive. Yeah, very impressive times happening for this asset. Okay, team. So, let's go ahead and now move on to the next chart. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and validate or not validate. Let's just go over our top side targets, right? So let's, one of them would be the center of the triangle, right? Actually, probably over here, ever so slightly bigger. Let's add that to the breakout candle. It would be this candle here, right? So let's just put it like that and move it to the side. And as you can see here, we already had a 37.85 target looked at from 2 days ago, right? And this is suggesting 37.54. So our discretion is pretty nicely. Not only that, is that it's also very close to the top side of the Gaussian channel, right? So it's rhyming pretty nicely and playing pretty nicely with the other targets. So now let's go ahead and take into consideration the back of the triangle, as this would be target number 2. And of course, this was the breakout candle right here. So let's go ahead and add it. And as you can see, it's coming up to the resistance of the targets that we spoke of yesterday. All right, so these were, this was the, hold on just a sec. There we go. And let's just move this across. We were speaking of a resistance zone here. Not sure if it was yesterday or the day before, but yeah, it's suggesting that top side, which is rhyming. It's rhyming very nicely with our discretion, right? So this would be the psychological price objective. And of course, yeah, you know what? We already met the first target based on this breakout right from down here, right? So very curious that this target ended up being very similar to the prior candle, right? So looking pretty nice here, team. Okay. So yeah, these are some of the targets that we are set to observe. And they do have, I mean, please remember that the higher the time frame, right, in this case, 3-day time frame, the higher the time frame with the formation, the better the strike, or the higher the strike rate. So I'm very happy to be seeing this on a 3-day time frame and seeing that the markets are doing what they're doing. My goodness, it's just, it's going to play out well. Okay, 8-hour time frame, I can't hesitate here, but it does look like a huge hammer candle after a downtrend, and it looks like a recovery candle, right? And we have to combat a very important resistance here, being the SMA 50 on the 8-hour, located at about 29.06. So that is definitely something to watch out for in the coming days. Okay, so, and this was the right angled triangle that we were talking about yesterday as far as being a bearish formation. Right, so, and we were also speculating on the potential of this being some type of channel if we were to have met the, you know, the trend line to the downside like that, right? So, yeah, very curious times over here. I'm not sure what we're going to do with this, but we shall figure that out. Another thing is that we closed this hourly candle inside of the bottom side of this linear regression channel, which means that there may actually be a test to the downside. Is not a guarantee, right? A test to the downside to particularly 26.22 before ripping to the upside, or this could be that reversal candle, right? Because it is an inverted hammer. Hourly time frame suggests, in the hourly time frame, and that would suggest a continuation to the upside. Okay, so if we did continue to the upside, naturally, we have to watch out for a certain area being right around 29 cents, and it does have a range to the downside. So let's just say 29 to about right over here on these candles here at 28.52. Okay, and that's not to mention the possibility of even reaching the top side here of the resistance of this this regression, right? At some point, we will figure that out, because that could be somewhere around 29.50 or 29.43, right around there. Okay, so now. Yeah, this is the statistical side of the analysis. Is still not ready for us to observe. And the last part of the analysis here, team, of course, everything is still pivoted towards the downside, which is kind of giving us the idea that we may actually find that 26.22 bottom side first before we continue on to the upside. And you can see clearly on every time frame, actually most of them are located in the gravitational zone that would send us to a downside, right? So you can see here gravitation on all these time frames that I'm pointing at, and even all the way up to the daily time frame. Now, again, we are speaking about the, well, actually in the biweekly time frame, this is that support that we're so close to getting, right? So actually, you know what? Let me open this up again and take a look at the time frame. 6 days, 18 hours to close. Man, it's just taking forever, right? But yeah, there is a support coming up here, and that may very well be some of this fluctuation to the downside that we're getting, right? So everything is looking pretty good. You know the targets, you know the resistances and the risks. Please go ahead and practice with risk management on your paper trades here, team, as we are simulating and we are training, keeping retail safe. Please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. I need you to do your own due diligence and everything will be cool. But with that said, team, I wish you well, a very, very good weekend, and I will catch you at the bell on Monday. Adios.